Okay, so we've been reading from The Meaning of Life, chapter 1.4. Money, possessions, fame, and status. Whether you have them or not, it doesn't change the fact that you're suffering. Whether you have money, possessions, or other things, true satisfaction cannot be achieved. This was taught by the Buddha as having and not having are the same, about 2,600 years ago. Regardless of status or rank, neither the noble nor the lowly, the poor nor the wealthy, the young nor the old, men nor women, all worry about money and possessions. Having or not having is the same. Worries and concerns are equal. If one has fields, they worry about the fields. If one has a house, they worry about the house. Cattle, horses, livestock, servants, money and possessions, clothing, food, and material goods, all of these are equally causes for concern from the larger Sutra of Infinite Life. Regardless of status or rank, neither the noble nor the lowly, the poor nor the wealthy means that it applies to both respected and looked down upon individuals, as well as to both impoverished and financially comfortable people. The young and the old men and women worry about money means that both young and older individuals, regardless of gender, are concerned about money. You might think, even if they have no financial difficulties, do they still worry about money? However, the more money one has, the more issues arise, such as tax concerns and the fear of losing it. In the book, How Ordinary People Became Millionaires, the true feelings of people who have acquired wealth are revealed. Money alone cannot bring happiness, and money itself may even invite unhappiness. Patent attorney. Money and success are not the ultimate goals. Even if you succeed in one thing, you will still want to challenge yourself in something else. An employee at a security company. High income does not equal success. There are significant things to lose, such as time, especially with family, and a part of one's humanity due to conflicts between labor and management. The sense of happiness was greater when I was doing things in a modest manner. The entire family wishes they could go back to those times if possible. A hospital director, a physician. I think of money as a manifestation of power. So if I'm not worthy of it, I believe it can crush me instead. A physician. After going public with our stocks, I started receiving a lot of sales calls at my home. I realized that becoming famous has its pros and cons. Real estate company CEO. The year after being listed on the high income taxpayer list, I started receiving harassing phone calls. The number of donation and sales calls increased, so I contracted a security company, insurance sales, self-employed. No matter how much money a person has, they still worry about money. Whether you have money, possessions, status, or fame or not, the feeling of being unfulfilled remains the same. Having and not having are the same. While the specific things that people suffer from may vary, the fact that everyone experiences some form of suffering is the same. If you have fields, you worry about the fields. If you have a horse, you worry, or if you have a house, you worry about the house. People who don't have fields or their own homes suffer, thinking, I'm suffering because I don't have a house or land. However, once they work hard and acquire their own home or land, they are faced with practical issues such as managing and maintaining the house, taxes, and other challenges. In the end, those who have fields or land suffer because they have fields or land, and those who have their own homes suffer because they have their own homes. cattle and horses, 6 livestock, servants, money, clothing, food, and household goods. All of these cause worries. At that time, when Buddha was living, there were no cars or trains, so they might be seen as luxury vehicles today, these cattle and horses. People who don't have luxury cars may yearn for them, but those who do have them not only incur maintenance costs, but also start experiencing new anxieties that they never had before. For example, they worry about whether opening the door too close to the car next to them at the supermarket might cause scratches, or if their car might be stolen by theft groups. 6 livestock refers to 6 types of livestock, including cattle, horses, sheep, dogs, pigs, and chickens. In a time when industry and service sectors were not well developed, animal husbandry was an important industry. It must have been a valuable asset. However, having a lot of animals to take care of can be challenging, and they also produce odors. If there is an outbreak of disease that requires the forced disposal of the animals, it would be a tremendous shock. Servants can be likened to butlers, chauffeurs, or housemaids in modern terms. You might think it would be great to have such loyal assistants, but in reality, they are human beings, so it can be challenging with various issues arising and the need to be considerate. Money. There is a saying, the richer you are, the higher the walls, implying that when you have money, new worries arise. Billionaires' concerns may not be relatable to commoners like me, but let's say you fill your wallet with 300,000 yen, which is about $3,000 in cash, and ride a packed train in Tokyo. How would you feel? Suddenly you start to have worries that you didn't have when you didn't have any money. Like, could someone steal it? Clothing, food, and household goods. If you don't have the basic necessities of clothing, food, and shelter, life can be extremely difficult. However, even if you can afford to eat your favorite foods and dress in high-end brands, it requires money and time for maintenance and management. New burdens and hassles arise that you didn't have before. With the increase in living standards, we have entered an era where people seek the meaning of life. Shakyamuni Buddha taught about the concept of having and not having are the same, even during a time, 2,600 years ago, when science and economics were not as advanced as they are today. Everyone strives to attain wealth, possession, status, and honor in their lives. But if all of these things are considered to be having and not having are the same, then their efforts become futile. So what should we live for? If you truly understand the suffering of having and not having, it may be because you have put in extraordinary efforts and achieved something in your life. If you were unable to even have enough to eat and lived in poverty, it would be difficult to perceive the concept of having and not having are the same. Okay, so we will come back to this part uh, tomorrow. Yeah. So this concept, even though it's not easy to wrap our head around it, because we are constantly moving from state of not having to the state of having, it's not easy to grasp it, but actually it helps us be more present and deepen our gratitude for having been born as a human. I think that's the beauty of it. So good job, everyone. Today's Thursday. We're going to have our summary Zoom at 5 p.m. and Morita Senses class at 6 p.m. And have a wonderful Thursday. Bye.
Thank you, Vida.
Thank you, Gary, and everybody. Take care.
Thank you, Vijay.
Thank you, Anu. Yeah.